हो रहा है। राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति में नेशनल रिसर्च फाउंडेशन गठन किया गया है, इसमें 50,000 करोड़ का प्रावधान रखा गया है। इसके लिए रिसर्च ऐसी हो जिसका समाज में उपयोग हो। बाकी क्योंकि समय का मैं इसके
हेलो, मैं प्रोफेसर पीएल सिंह दक्षिण बिहार में
लोग को बोलने नहीं मिलेगा क्या? एक ही को दिया
नहीं है, लेकिन मुझे लग रहा है
बड़ा गड़बड़ है।
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का उद्बोधन वह
चलिए
हमारी यहाँ समस्या बताने के लिए नहीं कि हमारी समस्या क्या है, हमारी कमी क्या है, यह हमको दे दिया जाए, वह दे दिया जाए, इसके लिए नहीं। मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, हमारा कैंपस क्या कर सकता है, हमारा कैंपस कैसे
चलिए
को जागरूक कर सकता है, कैसे छात्रों को इसमें इंगेज कर सकता है, यह विषय
क्या है। चलिए ना मुझे
लग रहा है यह वर्षा कहीं दूसरे दिशा में जा रहा है, विषयांतर हो रहा है। हम क्या कर सकते हैं, हमारा तो काम देखिए। कैंपस में दो तरह के डेवलपमेंट, एक तो वर्टिकल डेवलपमेंट है जो अपनी एकेडमिक साइड पर एआई को बढ़ाने के लिए, ठीक है, लेकिन वो एआई और ये सब डेवलपमेंट किसके, कम्युनिटी की। हम शिक्षकों की जिम्मेदारी बनती है, हम कैंपस के लोगों की जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि हम हॉरिजॉन्टल डेवलपमेंट को चले। जब साधन सारे इकट्ठा हो जाए तभी हम कुछ करें, यह हो जाएगा तभी हम करेंगे, यह विषय नहीं है। हम क्या कर सकते हैं, इन्हीं संस्थानों में क्या अच्छा कर सकते हैं, यह सोचने के लिए है। और कैसे छात्रों को इसमें एंगेज कर सकते हैं, कैसे कैंपस को एंगेज कर सकते हैं, जिससे जो यूनिवर्सिटी का लक्ष्य है, कैंपस और दी कम्युनिटी, वो लक्ष्य पूरा हो सके, यह इस बात पर होना है। मैं चाहूँगा कि सभी लोग इस बात पर सुझाव दें कि हम क्या कर सकते हैं, हमारे कैंपस को करते हुए हमारे छात्र क्या कर सकते हैं। केवल यह कहना दिया कर दिया जाए, माफ कर दिया जाए, यूनिवर्सिटी से जोड़ दिया जाए, ये तो होते रहेगा।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर आपका। आपने दिशा दिखाई है और आपने प्रयोग किया है और उस प्रयोग का असर आपके विश्वविद्यालय को नैक से एक ग्रेड प्राप्त हुआ है, जो ये बताता है कि आपने इस दिशा में अच्छा काम किया। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। अब आगे करेंगे महात्मा गांधी सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी मोतिहारी के कुलपति, गांधी विज्ञान के विज्ञान शिक्षक, जो बनारस विश्वविद्यालय के गांधी विज्ञान के शिक्षक हैं, श्री संजय श्रीवास्तव जी। वो इंडिया इन द वर्ल्ड, विश्व में भारत विषय पर अपनी बात रखेंगे। उनको मैं मंच पर सादर आमंत्रित करता हूँ। प्रोफेसर संजय श्रीवास्तव।
The state of Bihar, his secretary, respected secretary, vice chancellors of universities sitting here, faculty members of the universities, the deans and the directors, and all those who have gathered here to discuss this momentous issue of Viksit Bharat in 2047. My namaskar to all of you. For the first time, I have seen that a Prime Minister is directly speaking to the people, interacting with the people, and especially the youth and the academic people, to know about their ideas of what India should be after 25 years from now. So this is something that tells us our old tradition of Shastra, that there will be a Sabha, there will be Samvad, and out of that Samvad, the Samadhan will come. So this is something very distinguishing about our Prime Minister. And I congratulate him for becoming People's Prime Minister and directly, involving people in the formulation of the policies and also its implementation. The topic I've been, given is India and the world. So it is quite different from science and technology and other kind of, other topics which are enshrined here. And the three examples of Singapore, Japan, and South Korea. Here we cannot emulate these countries, their foreign policy, because our foreign policy is already doing exceptionally well, and it's a terrific foreign policy, has been analyzed and discussed by the various academicians across the world that Indian foreign policy is doing exceptionally well. When we talk about Singapore, Japan or South Korea, they usually follow a government foreign policy and they more emphasize on their economic goal and their development. Since we are from a developing country and India has already taken the baton of leadership of the developing country, so we cannot have a government foreign policy. So we need to have a very active, and nowadays we call it a proactive foreign policy under Prime Minister Modi. So the basic, the values or the basic characteristics of the foreign policy, its goals haven't changed. So there is, we cannot say that there is a metamorphosis of the foreign policy. Rather, we say that the change is in the degrees. And the Indian foreign policy has become more proactive as well as more efficient. And now India is a country which does not punch below its weight, because there have been incidents like 26/11 in India, where Indian Parliament was attacked and the government did not retaliate. But now we see that the India is retaliating. If you disturb India, if you poke India, then you are going to get a befitting reply. So now we say that India is punching, which is commensurate to its weight, like that we are the rising power. Now, when we say that India is a rising power, it also has a lot of responsibilities. It's not that we are only pursuing our national interests, but we have to look at the world also, that what are the issues or the challenges faced by the international community, and what kind of things we want to solve these problems, and what role India can play. I give you an earlier example. When India was supposed to be the leader of the third world countries in the Uruguay round negotiations or the WTO negotiations, or in the UNCTAD, we were called the country that spoils the international talks, because we were following our own national interests. But now you see that in the international negotiations, India is behaving in a more responsible way, so that some solutions to the problems can come out. And that is a good thing, which is now a hallmark of India's foreign policy. That now you see that India is more cooperating towards solving the problems faced by the international society, be at the level of United Nations or be at the level of World Trade Organization or the Conference of Parties regarding the environment protection, and also any international forum or the regional forum related to trade or business or such kind of things. So now the thing is that why these changes have taken place? Is there a role for the leadership? Yes, definitely there is a role for the leadership. When we talk about the three countries, Singapore, Japan and South Korea, you find that a single leader who is adored, who is respected, who is morally upright, without any charges of corruption, has led these three countries, and they became the somewhat a developed countries or a major power, at least in terms of the economy. The same opportune movement has come for India when we have a great leader like our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi ji, leading the country. He is morally upright, he has the vision, he cares for his people, and he has the vision to take India, to take country to the next level. And all these things are reflected in the making and implementation of India's foreign policy. For any rising power, it is necessary that it should have a somewhat a very confident cultural and the civilizational background. Till now, we have seen that India is a country which did not give importance to its very rich cultural legacy, its civilizational legacy. But nowadays we see that there is a mix of, cultural inputs and the civilizational inputs in India's foreign policy. And that is commensurate to the rising status of this country. There are many things like yoga, Ayurveda, our different kind of knowledge that generates from Vedas and Dharma Shastra that need to be told to the world, to the Indian people also, so that the society can have a sort of dialogue on these issues, can practice the benefits of these issues and get benefited. Now, there is another important issue which I need to mention, that there was a time earlier that India was a rule taker, that whatever the rules were formulated in the different international organizations were followed by India. But now India is a rule maker also. The international society listens to India. International society takes care that what India is doing. Okay, and in all the major international negotiations, India is a big country that needs to things to the solution by not only following its national interest, but also taking the interest of sort of what we call the diplomacy, that is the pattern of negotiations that is not strictly distributive, rather it is more accommodative. It is accommodating the needs and the interests of the other countries as well as of the international society. Now you see, Indian Prime Minister's persona. He is a beloved leader. He is adored. He is respected internationally. Some say that he is the leader. Some say that he is the great leader, or some call him the boss of a gathering, or boss of an wherever a summit is taking place. So such type of adjectives or such type of epithets, when you listen for your Prime Minister, I think everyone's chest should swell with pride, and that is what we have seen recently in the G20 presidency of India, or the Chandrayaan landing on the south pole of the moon and India becoming the first country to do that, or our economy becoming 15th largest in the world. Or for that matter, we plan that in next 15 years we will be the third largest economy in the world. So all these things, that is why we call it the Amrit Kaal, where we have have passed over our earlier problems, earlier issues, which were economic or the other kind of social issues. And this is a very high time, very opportune moment that we use this occasion, this time, to reach to the next level, or the level of the state of God. Now, you see that the important thing which Indian foreign policy nowadays is aiming to project India's soft power, because every time, like we go for the militarization, all the countries go for the militarization, we are also spending money on that, and we are the nuclear power. Still, every time your military power does not work. It is your soft power. It is the power of ideas, the power of attraction, the power of persuasion that often works in the international relations, or that influences that competitive space where the foreign policies of the other countries are formulated and implemented. So it is through the soft power of India, it is the power of attraction, that we are trying to influence other countries. It's often said in the Western world that China's rise is seen with a suspicion, while India's rise is seen with a smile. Why? Because of our democracy, because of our liberal traditions, that people do not suspect that India is going to harm any other country, or India is not a irredentist state or revisionist state, or we are not going to grab anyone's stand. So this kind of soft power, our competitors like China can never have. You go to any country of South Africa, you go to any country of Asia, you will find sort of goodwill for it, the word of goodwill for India. And that happens in America and across the Europe also. You travel with any, with the Indian passport, you will never be treated now because the kind of goodwill we are having. And then you see China, you see other countries in South Asia. I'm not here to criticize any country. But see, the kind of different traditions, the kind of democracy we have, this sort of unchecked democracy, where you accept 2-3 years to be the emergency, you never find a break in the democracy. So this gives a sort of edge to India, and that is what being instrumentalized in the implementation of our foreign policy, so that we can not only get our national interests pursued, but also we look towards the world. You remember our IDA program is doing exceptionally well. Our development partnership program with the countries of countries of Africa and Latin America, it is doing excellent job. And we have, in the area of capacity building, have done tremendously good job. And that is now in our IDA program, that is with the G20 countries, will implement, I'm sure it will give a good fight to the PRI China. Because the kind of goodwill India enjoys in this world now. This is a foreign policy which emphasizes on the region that except Pakistan, we have been very good relations.